Yeah, I mean, I think we've all known they were going to win it for quite a long time because they've been a fair way ahead of Arsenal mainly, and Arsenal were dropping too many points along the way. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm quite pleased. A lot of fans, I think, for some reason, don't like Liverpool. I don't know whether it goes back a few years when they kept winning everything. I don't know, but they hadn't actually won the league. They did win it in 2020, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
The COVID year, so they couldn't really celebrate, which was a
Celebrate, yeah.
shame. And of course, that's when Klopp won it with them. I think really a lot of us have said, me included, that Slot has had an easy time of it because he simply inherited Klopp's team. Well, in a sense, I figure that's a bit unfair, even though I've taken that view myself, because it still means a new manager. He's got to get to grips with the team. A manager's a bit like a conductor of an orchestra, and if an established one goes, the new one still has to ingratiate himself and get the players believing in what he's doing. So I think he's perhaps been a bit underestimated. He's done really well. He's obviously passionately driven. It was good afterwards when they were saluting all their fans, and all of the Liverpool people, including Slot and his coaches, all had this specially printed shirt, didn't they? Champions 24, sorry, yeah, 24, 25.
Yeah.
And it was good to see that even the hierarchy of the club there, the
Yeah.
manager and his people, all were, effectively dancing around and doing all those things because of the pure joy of winning. Let's face it, what is a very, very tough competitive league, even though maybe there's two or three leagues within that league,
Mm.
there's still a good top six, top seven who could win the league, the Premier League. So
Mm.
it's a great achievement for him. But I think it's going to be fascinating to see how they get on next year because they may continue, but we know they're going to lose players and they're going to be buying players. I didn't like hearing rumours that they want to buy Adam Walton, for example, which the big clubs
Right.
they will be circling Palace's players and other teams who are producing good players. And I
Yeah.
don't like the idea that they will buy him. But equally, any player will think, well, do I really want to go to one of the big clubs? Because that's not going to guarantee me games every week. I might be
Yeah.
sort of second, third, fourth down the list of midfield players or strikers. So I'm hoping that Adam Walton, particularly, might think, well, do I really want to risk not playing every week? But yeah, it will be interesting to see because I think Van Dijk is going, as far as I know. Salah seems to be staying, doesn't he? Which is good.
Yeah.
But I'm no doubt one or two other players will be end of contracts or leaving anyway. So when he actually starts to mould his own new players in with what there is still there, that's
Mm.
going to be where he shows his real quality. But I get the impression he's a very good manager. I mean, I don't know about you. I'd never heard of him before he came to Liverpool. He was one of those people under the radar, really.
Yeah.
He's a Dutchman, isn't he? I believe he comes from the
It is.
Netherlands.
Yeah, it is.
But
Yeah.
yeah, he's clearly his heart is in it. He's a bit like Glasner. He's so enthusiastic. He loves the whole thing. And that counts for so much. That's like an extra goal start for teams when
Mm.
you've got a manager who you believe in, who creates this great team spirit around the club, which
Mm.
clearly he has done.
Mm.
So I've got nothing but admiration for him, really, and for Liverpool. They showed on Sunday, I think it was, wasn't it, the game,
They did. Yeah.
what a class team they actually are. What was it,
Ah.
five? What a class team they actually are. What was it,
Ah.
5-0,
Five.
was it?
5-1.
5-1, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was, yeah, I watched the game and I then switched over to the semi final as well. I watched a bit of both.
Yeah.
But yeah, they played well, and of course they can bring on good young players like Harvey Elliott, who's excellent. You know, he's tiny, isn't he? But he comes on and he's a real class act already at his young age. And
Yeah.
they've got other players who come on like Jota, and just full of people. You know, come a great bench to bring on to boost things to get fresh legs out there. So clearly they're going to do well again next year. Will they do a Manchester City and win it again? Who knows? I
Who
don't
knows?
think they probably will. But as I say, who knows what will happen? But no, thoroughly deserved Premier League win, in my opinion.
I think they did really well. Well, this was something that he said after the game on Sunday. It was a press interview, and that just made me it made me gain so much respect for him, because he came up there and he said, and they said, oh, you should be really proud of your achievement, first season taking over, and you've won a trophy. And he said it shouldn't really. He said he said he wasn't really deserving of it because it was Klopp's team. He just saw. He said if there's anyone to thank, it was Jurgen Klopp, because he did it. He said thank Jurgen Klopp for this wonderful team that is laid down for him to just is a ready-made team that was going to win the title. And I felt so much respect for him, because he could have easily said, yeah, I'm a great manager, I worked hard, I did this and I did that, but he didn't say that. He just he just gave the due credit to where I never saw it that way, but he made me see it that way, and I had so much respect for him. And that's one thing that I would take going forward, because I didn't really know him, like you said. Nobody knew who he was before. He was quite way under the radar. But he said that now, and I'm thinking, I like this guy. I like people that are humble and appreciate and they're not self-centered, selfish and stuff like that. Yeah, so I quite like that about him. Now, any Aluko. She's, I don't